Okay, Trader 101. Thank you for the question. Do you think we see some upside on alts in the coming months or all wrecked? So this one is a lot of explaining and a lot of text, so I figured let's just do a video instead. So what I did here is I took TOTAL3 on the weekly and I clicked to compare symbol USDT.D. This is the market cap of Tether in dominance. This is an index. It's an index on TradingView. It's not really great for signals or alerts because it does get repainted, but it does allow you to spot divergences between assets. So basically, if you can spot divergences across assets, you'll know what the whole market's doing. So when I look at this right here, it looks like USDT.D Tether Dominance is at or near a support, which is bullish for Tether, inverse for TOTAL3. So after this week's bloodbath or last week's bloodbath on February 3rd, I feel we do have a little bit more to come down. I'm just going to make sure I'm on regular scale in terms of billions of dollars here. So I would envision another run back down to this 800 billion mark. This is, keep in mind, this is on the weekly too, right? So when you go back to regular, you lose the comparison. So you have to have it on percent. So Tether Dominance and TOTAL3, basically you can kind of see, I had this kind of drawn a little bit earlier here. So it does look to me like Tether Dominance might just break up out of this, right? Which is bad for the rest of the market. So we can quickly check a couple other time frames too to see what we see. So let's check the daily. So daily's kind of the same thing. Really what you want to be doing is you want to be buying alts when it crosses up on Tether Dominance, right? Crossing up is a buy. So anything like this, I know this is going to change the scaling, but anything like this, so you get a buy zone here, a buy zone here, buy zone here. You will get sometimes these fake outs here, but that's also a good time to accumulate before the major run up. So if one thing you can be prepared for is just take a look at Tether Dominance and BTC, ETH, the majors, etc. TOTAL3 captures everything. So to me, we are still up here on TOTAL3. We are doing okay, but there is some support here on Tether Dominance, which indicative of a move to the upside for Tether Dominance. So something like this, and then the market would pull back. So what you can do in that times is look to buy things on dips. And fortunately for us here, if you wanted to try it out, just try out the general alerts indicator on TOTAL3, works pretty good. So you'd be able to dip buy anything pretty good. This will tell you when there's a fire sale. So I will be pushing more of these signals to Discord as well. You do have the 4-hour signals over here as well. So you've got BNX, Zen, IOTA, ID, any of these are already here. So that's very good. Now let's take a look at BTC quick. I want to look at BTC to see what it's doing. So yeah, really keep in mind this does repaint a little bit. So this does repaint a little bit. Yeah, so depending on where you scale it, this would basically be bottom. This is the bottom. This is accumulation zone. October 22nd, Tether Dominance is at an all-time high. You spot a divergence here, theoretically. You decide to start grabbing appreciating assets, BTC, TOTAL3 assets, alts, you name it. Tether gets rugged and starts our run. You could see how they're inverse, right? So now where we're at, you can see some support on USDT.D Tether Dominance. I'm still feeling like we have some downside here. So that's kind of where I'm at here. I had this drawn out. I thought we'd see a run up to 104, 106, and then down. That's kind of where I'm at here. I think I put this in general chat as well too. So just see if I could scroll back for a second. Yeah, simply put like this. So when you spot divergences across assets, this is Tether Dominance versus BTC. You see The second top is a little bit lower. That's pretty bearish. You spot some tether dominance is bullish, right? It's curling up. It's respecting a trend line going up. The asset's going down inverse. That's a good theory for taking shorts or taking profits on long positions. So that's what it looked like. This was, oh shoot, this was February 3rd. So this was a little bit ago. I think that's a January 28th chart, but you get the drift, right? And then since then we're down a little bit. We're not super down, but the entire move, I'd imagine we'd look to stabilize somewhere around this 85 to 80 zone. We really just blasted through it, so I would imagine we'd find support in this area. So I'll actually just take this and move that, because that would kind of be where I'd anticipate a bounce based on support levels, right? There's really not much in this zone. We were just basically blasted through it, right? So there will become some sort of support in this area. The range to me should be 80 to 85. Now, okay, let's go out to the weekly on BTC. So that's perfect. These look really good. Anytime that USDT.D crosses up bearish, highly bearish, right? But it is delayed on the weekly, so that's why I really wouldn't want to be trading based on the crosses on the weekly. Weekly is a little late. You kind of want to based on the daily, right? You get a clear break and you buy. Now let's just take a look at ETH as well. See what I got on ETH. I'm going to turn the crypto cap off. We're going to go to regular on auto. Really not much to see here for ETH. So 4,000 seems to be overhead resistance right here. We weren't able to break this. Not much really happened here. So shoot, but I do see a little bit. Oops, sorry, I want a trend line. I did see a little bit of a trend line here. So that at least is good. However, if we break this trend line, that's not very good for ETH. So this to me would be GG for ETH. That's no good. That's sad face. ETH really has not been doing so well this run as compared to the rest of the market. So like if I take ETH versus BTC, for instance, this will show me where ETH is versus BTC. BTC is actually 100% above ETH in this run. ETH is 15% below. Now let's just take something like TOTAL3, TOTAL2 without, actually, yeah, so TOTAL2 would just be all the alts. So this would be ETH versus the alts without BTC. TOTAL2 slightly above 25%. Just depends on where you scale it. So if I go to here, BTC 65% above, TOTAL2 25% above. So really no alt run yet. BTC still leading the run. Alts middle point. ETH really lacking. So that's kind of the subjective thing here. So we haven't really seen ETH and the alts run just yet. Back to the weekly per se. If we could get some of this dominance to play out, we might see another run down. I'd be interested to see what happens at this trend line. That might be one more flush down and then run it back up. So for midterm, short to midterm, I'd expect some sort of downside. I'd be looking at ETH around, I'll turn all this off. I'd be looking at ETH around 2,200 bucks. So I would set an alert at ETH at 2,200 bucks. So what you could do, you come in over here, sorry, Alt A, Ethereum crossing 2176. Yeah, that looks about right. That's crossing right at the wicks there. So that'll let me know if we cross and touch that zone. So I got to just make an alert on that. That'll let me know when to start surveying ETH. That'll be good for some sort of relief rally or further decision to see if we got some more downside. Now, TOTAL3. TOTAL3, yeah, we still have some momentum here. Scroll this out. Yeah, I would imagine somewhere in this. This is pretty optimistic, but we might see a pullback down to the 736 range. Like I said, I would try to do an alert on this. However, total three, you come over to here. It basically it'll get repainted because it's a calculation based on the coins that are involved in the asset base. So as coins get delisted and moved, then it changes your data. A big example would be that Luna of or whatever that was, that UST. Yeah. Anyways, you remember that about 2 years ago? It was a stable coin they scammed. It was whatever it was, top 5, top 6, can't remember the name of it, but that was in this index. So after this index lost value and all signals changed. So you can't really do alerts based on this. I'd be watching total 3 for right around the 736 billion mark, and then I would resurvey USDT.D Tether Dominance. One more final check. Let's check S&P and let's see. S&P, we're basically at all-time high again, believe it or not. So Trump's actually doing really good things for the market here. If this weekly closes, you're going to run up again. Midterm target's going to be 627, and upper target 695. That's if this weekly closes above 60. I want to say that's 609. 609. Check the momentum again. Momentum, yeah, we have a little bit of divergence there, but we are at an all-time high, so I would not take this divergence with anything because you're at an all-time high. This divergence could keep running for a little bit up until 650-ish. You know what I mean? I would be very hesitant to take a short on the market at a weekly close above an all-time high. I would want to short this if so here's a possible trade idea. I would want to short this if this candle were to close right around 607. I have another candle here and then another candle here. I would want confirmation on the second candle right here that this is a bearish candle, and then I would look to enter a short, and my midterm TPs on the short would be sub 600, 580. But for this week, if I can just go flip to the daily, it's looking like we are. Oh shoot, it is looking, this daily candle's not looking great. That's why we always got to check multiple time frames. So sorry, my mouse is kind of doing some weird stuff here. So you are at 609 roughly, and then this candle 609. This technically is still a bullish candle. Yeah, it's ran up, it's gotten beaten down, but price hasn't moved. There's still a lot of buyers in this area. I would want to see this candle close, and then I would want to make a trade evaluation based on the weekly, because you could still see a fake out up rejection here based on a daily fib 618 or whatever. It could literally just be a wick too, right? You could just get a 1-day wick up and then down and then weekly close below and then all the way down. So for today's Monday's a holiday here in Canada, so markets are closed. I'm not sure about the States. I would be looking to see where that weekly target, the weekly candle closes. Then I would be assessing my targets based on that weekly closure. I would like to see some buys in this area and or 570. 570 appears to be some decent support in here. If you could get 577 as well, that would be fine. Now, go back to S&P here. S&P hasn't really had much for volatility for quite some time. It's just kind of been steadily meandering up, which makes me wonder if we have some volatility coming soon. This is 2022. We had some rugs down. So with that being said, based on this 1 week closure, I would be looking for a short on a 1 week closure below 608 roughly for the 1 week. And conversely, if the long closes above that same area, I'd be looking for a long. You could just simply place your stop somewhere below there. So I'm going to stop the video. I hope this was helpful. Any questions, let me know, and I'll probably try to get this out in an email to everybody as well. So hopefully you guys are having a wonderful Sunday and a great weekend, and we will chat to you next time.